Hello everyone, good morning. It is Will coming back with another portfolio review. We'll see how long I can do this for because my mouth hurts. On Monday, which is kind of partially why I haven't been recording any videos lately, but not really. It's just because this is the only series that I do. Is on Monday I had a surgery to get wisdom teeth taken out, so I had all four. And now that all my good medicine has worn off, or ran out rather, I've been in a lot of pain, so I think I should be able to get through this because I talk all day anyway, so we'll see where it goes. So, big update since the last time I've finally been able to invest, but not only that, financial goal number 2 for 2020 has been completed, and those were the two goals that I set. If we go all the way back to probably like episode 3, like 2020 goals, one of them was to pay off all my debt, which I did, so that's really awesome. And then the second goal is to get $10,000 in investments. And right now you can see I'm at 52, 54. But if we look at all time, if we look at my straight up invested cash, I mean, it's a little weird because also money that, dividends and whatnot. But if we look at like straight up, $5,000 has been input by me. And then same thing with this. Right now I have $200 being deposited and then a buy. So we're going to be buying some more shares of things coming up, and then that will also put this portfolio into the $5,000 territory. I haven't bought anything yet on Robinhood. I'll probably wait till after this video to buy something. Not really sure what I want to average down, if there really is anything. I mean, T-Mobile's quite tempting, but also since Apple split, I feel like it wouldn't be a bad time to Apple's $100 a share. That's really reasonable for my budget. And I know it's probably going to continue to go up. So it's, because they're just such a powerful company that buying one share wouldn't be that bad. What's up with this? It has like shares that I already have. It's kind of wonky, but just something to think about. And I'll probably decide that once I get to that point. Later in the day, or after this video rather. But I'm really excited. I know it's hard to tell by my voice right now. It's just because my mouth hurts and smiling and whatever is just painful right now. Probably before I go to work I might try to ice my mouth a little more. It's just like they only gave me 10 pills for the pain, which cool. I only took one at a time and they went by pretty fast. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. So if we look at, I wonder what's under messages. Probably, yeah. I was about to buy a share, but then I canceled because it's not going to go through right away. And that's just going to bother me. So if we look at the history, just scroll back a little bit here. Oh, this is way back into June. Yeah, and that's the last time that I really did anything was back in June. So it's been a while. I was kind of trying to figure out when to buy, because it wasn't quite open, and then it was, and then I wasn't doing anything. So I just canceled and rebought. So I bought 1 Bank of America, 5 AT&T, Coca-Cola, JP Morgan, and then I tried getting more NRI, but it was being very wonky. But yeah, because of how my checks were this month, we did really well last month in sales, so we got a bonus. But they kind of messed up the check. So I got my initial check yesterday and then essentially more check today. So that's why I had to split it up a little bit. But yeah, we still got dividends coming in slowly and surely. And I've updated the stock portfolio so we can kind of go over that once we get to that point. But and I will probably do an end of August update. Probably imagine in about a week or so. I guess I usually bring up the calendar over here so you can see. So right now I'm recording this on the 4th. Probably sometime next week I'd imagine I'd see an August update video when I get around to doing it. Heck, it might even be out Monday, so I might be able to record it then because I have Monday off. So it kind of worked out. Oops. Because I had surgery Monday and off Tuesday. So I had a 4-day weekend, back for 3 days for work, and then Monday or Saturday, Sunday, Monday off as well. So that's pretty lucky. So yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to show right here other than I have averaged out. We'll see a lot more once we get to the stock portfolio piece. But the big part about this video is that in the beginning of the year, I set 2 goals. I didn't necessarily plan out how I was going to do it. I just knew those were two goals that I was wanting to do. Paying off debt was quite a bit more important, but um, I don't know. It was just sometimes you just got to say your goals, say you're going to do them, and somehow you just find a way to do them. I mean, I did not predict I was going to get a new job. I did not predict I was going to get, better commissions, better sales, bonuses, all that really helps out. But yeah, continuing along. M1 Finance, same deal. I mean, we were slowly starting to build up, and then we had a nice bump up once we bought some more shares. $1,000 in bonds. I haven't really looked through this because this is like way more passive. I just throw money in it. I let it do its thing. This is the more active one that I keep track of more. But yeah, we passed $1,000 in our first section. Now, some of you that have been watching this series for a while know that I've copied the Joseph Carlson show's portfolio, and he's done a lot of changes where I have not, and I'm really okay with this because this is very passive in a sense, and we have growth through real estate. I've basically kept everything because I think he has good proportions. I might rebalance it where maybe I have a little more in energy and a little more in tech and stuff, and a little less percentage in bonds, but this just kind of keeps my money very steady. Like, I don't fluctuate as much on this account, which I prefer. Because it's just kind of like a cushion or whatever. I don't know how to explain it entirely, but the way he built it is very safe, and I like that. This can be my more aggressive, learning about companies and going up and down. Because I mean, if we look at Wells Fargo, wherever it is, I think it's down here a bit. Maybe I'm blind. I can't see. There we are, Wells Fargo. I mean, overall, I am down $200, in one company. So, that happens sometimes through investing. You kind of learn, but overall, I'm up almost $300. So, realistically, even though I'm down so much in this company, there's so many other companies that I'm up quite a bit that it just balances it out. Like Royal Caribbean, I know is one that I'm up huge. Yeah, $200 right here. I'm up 199% since I bought it. So sometimes you win big, you lose big. And with this, it's just everything is just averaged out. Everything's so percentaged. I mean, if we look at this, I get 2.93 shares, 5.18, 9.37. So I actually have a lot more AT&T in this portfolio than I do in the other one, which is kind of funny. But it's just all fractionals, and we're getting to the point where we're starting to get full-on shares. Like, it's funny, if we look at the activity, I was given 0.3725 shares of Apple, and then since then, September, we got Aflac and Pfizer, Visa, Wells Fargo paying, and then we had a couple buys yesterday. Yeah, I mean, it just feels good to be able to put money back in there and see this portfolio go up. And we'll see that again. Not so much in the end of August video, but the end of September we'll see some growth again, hopefully. But it's good to see that these sections are starting to fill up and, get a little bit bigger here and there. And you can see the percentages work out to be about right because we have 5,000, 1% of that's $50. So the math is working right, and 20% is 1,000. So it all works. If you do M1 Finance and you just type in your percentages, it's gonna do it for you. So yeah, so we'll get another buy here, and we'll probably see that in the August update, what finally came out of it. So yeah, this is this spreadsheet that I created for my Robinhood portfolio. Everything has all been done by me. I watched a couple videos to figure out how to do it. I've had no requests to have anyone see how it's done, but if that option's out there, if anyone still wants to see how I made it, I'll make a video to do so. But yeah, I just keep track of what I've averaged bought prices. I might change buy price to average buy price. The current price is what they're currently trading at. Their 52-week high and low, just so I can get a reference point of like, oh, General Electric, right now they're at 632. Ooh, like $1 from their low. This might be a good time to buy more if I wanted to. And then if we look at Kraft, because I know they're 33, they're $3 away from their high. Might want to avoid buying more Kraft until they're a bit lower. And you can see them up $70, so that makes a difference too. But yeah, and then I just keep track of my sectors, and then I have some pie charts over here to kind of give me a quick reference of where I should probably put more money into stocks and, money spent percentage. You can see Wells Fargo is pretty huge for me, but um, it's just because they were paying a good dividend and then they slashed it. But at least I'm not living off dividends, otherwise I'd be really sad. But learning lesson, don't have a percentage of your income in one company, because if they slash it, you're in deep trouble. Sliding over to dividends, I finally got this updated. You can see we did the July. This is tentatively what August is telling me, and this is what we have so far through September and what it will be through September. So we've kind of gone down a little bit, and I think a lot of this has to do with the pandemic and companies cutting their dividends. And we'll kind of talk about that more once we slide over and look at this chart over here. But overall, we're almost at $100 for the year, which is about half of what we were predicting. And again, the farther we do this into the year, the less accurate it becomes. But overall, I'm pretty content. Like $100 used to be what I put in every month over on this side. To now get that in 1 year, I'll be really excited to see what next year brings us overall in money. Hopefully it can double again. And then from there, I'd like to go up in percentages, but we'll see. Adding your own money definitely adds to this number a lot faster than if you just roll over with dividends. But this last quarter should be pretty decent, I'd imagine. So we'll take a peek at that. But overall, this is probably averaged out to be a little bit better, because let's bring up a calculator and bring it over here. So if we look at, obviously, quarter one, we can kind of do mental math, 10 plus about 15. So we're looking at about $15, $16. Quarter two, we're looking at 14, roughly between the 773, 701. Again, it's not totally accurate, but it's close. So that's $39 for quarter two. Now, if we look at quarter three, 15 plus 12 plus 11, $38. I can't remember what the other one was. Let me bring up another calculator. So this was quarter three, and then 14 plus 25, 39. So we're like $1 difference, but it's averaged out a little bit better. But I still expect more in September to be coming. But, overall, that's another good way to see your numbers going up is by quarterly. And that could be something that I decide to add, like down here in a chart. It's something that's not as important and takes a lot longer to update, but I might actually do that. That's not a bad idea. Whether or not I have it plugged in automatically or if I just graph it myself, we'll see. Okay, projected dividends for 2020. The last time I updated this was back in June 2nd, so it's been a while. And nearly exactly 3 months later, I finally was able to update it. So I went through on Seeking Alpha, and I checked to see what the yearly payout on all these companies were. Some went up, some went down. A big one for me, obviously, was Wells Fargo going down quite a bit. And I think this is what the rest of the year projected overall is going to be, because it still paid 51 cents for a couple quarters, and then it went down quite a bit. So we'll see. But yeah, so overall it stayed roughly about the same. At this point it was 257 and it went down to 231. So losing $20 is quite a big percentage, but at this such a low spot. Okay, sorry, stopped in the middle. I had to sneeze and I had to drink some more water to keep me hydrated. So yeah, overall it hasn't changed too much. Probably after today this will probably go up a little bit more. Since it's like 1 day apart, I might just update this and update the numbers, because I'm sure none of these have really changed too much, but we'll just cheese it a little bit. So on the next time, if you don't see 9.3 and whatnot, it's because I probably just went over and updated it, because it's the easier thing to do because it's only a day apart. But yeah, overall, again, like the goal was to hit $10,000 in investments between both my portfolios, so $5,000 each, which I did in September, way earlier. And then I was also able to pay off my debt back in like June, so that was also a huge milestone as well. So now I have 3 extra months this year, which, living on my own, I'll have to budget a lot harder than I did at home and make sure I'm getting my bills and stuff paid for first, and my rent and whatnot. But clearly, even though you're still living on your own, depending on your job, of course, and living below your means, you can still invest. Granted, I was able to do 1,000 this month. That's well above the average for a lot of people, so don't feel like you have to do that much. I remember when I started out, I was doing $100 a go, so it all starts somewhere. Um, but yeah, taking a look at the M1 Finance portfolio, this was the one that was developed for the Joseph Carlson show specifically. Obviously, the format just works better because you don't have full shares. I thought about it, and I probably could do something. Like if I did 15.75, it would actually calculate it out. So it is a possible thing to do, but that's a lot of work to do so. But maybe I might do it if I get bored. But this just works on month over month growth, and you see a lot of charts that kind of help explain it. So this has been my monthly income with my average, and you can see that I've been well above some months. This is that same chart without the averages, so it's a little bit cleaner to look at. Portfolio value over time, and we'll probably continue to see next month being a little stagnant, but then it'll bump up again. And then my average yearly income averaged out. So right now we're sitting at about 145, depending on what we plug in for next month. 162 should be what our projection is. So not so bad. This has been able to grow a little bit better because, fractional averaging, but I feel like the dividends will be cut as well. I just don't know which companies have, but that's all right with me for now. So anyway, taking a look at the net worth tracker, I've tried to update it as close as I can. Sometimes it's hard to get numbers exactly where you want them. These will be a little bit different as well, because these will be like 52 each. So there's a little variance there. The end of the month numbers are still a little in the air, because I haven't gotten the end of the month reports for Robinhood and M1. Retirement, I think I got savings and checking, since they don't change very much. That's pretty easy to do. And then obviously my non-liquid assets, I guess, pretty much stay the same value, or ideally I would like them to. I don't know how exactly I'm going to continue doing my car going forward. I know I'll just keep my watch value as is, because if I need to replace it, that's what I would pay. Cars are a little bit different, but maybe each year I'll update the price and go down, like, maybe I could go like down $500 every 6 months. So maybe at the end of this year, I'll just leave this 95 through the rest of the year, but starting in January next year, it'll be 9,000. So it's not like a huge drop off. That might not be a bad idea. So anyway, that's how this is so far. We're still above 30,000. Hooray. We haven't had a down month since last December. So hopefully we can not have one of those months where we go down again, through proper budgeting, not spending outrageous numbers. But I mean, it was Christmas, so it's just one of those things that happens. But I do want to be able to do nice things for Christmas, but not go overboard. But yeah, we're still above 30,000, still growing. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I think that was mostly because I was paying off debt, which locks in your returns for sure. And now we're putting money into assets that can grow at a better rate than that. And this change in net worth is kind of wonky. I don't know if I like it as much anymore. When I initially first made it, I just wanted to kind of get an idea of, like, I don't know, I guess at a glance you can see the months that I've grown like quite a bit and ones that I have not, but sometimes you learn from your charts. But yeah, overall this kind of wraps it up for today. I just wanted to, put out another video, talk about how I got my goals accomplished for this year, both of them. And now it's like, well, what do I do for the rest of the year? I guess continue to grow it and see what I can do. Of course, like once I make another video around like December, January for next year's goals, I'll definitely come up with something else. Obviously the debt's paid off, so it will probably have to do with these two portfolios. Maybe one part will be a certain number portfolio value, and then maybe the next part is try to grow my monthly income to this number. Granted, it's going to be a little bit harder to track because I have one over here and one over here, but maybe combined we can try for like $35 or something, just depending on how it ends. but I feel like realistically we're pretty close to that. So maybe the goal will be by the end of the year have $50 every month coming in. You know, whether it's 25 here, 25 there, or 40-10, whatever the case is. But I think that would be a pretty fun goal to try to achieve. I'd have to crunch the numbers and figure out if that is something that's possible, because it's like $50 times 300. So yeah, I would need $15,000 overall invested. So we're close, but I think it has to be in one portfolio. But I don't know. You know, maybe that is closer than I think, than I really realized. So who knows? But yeah, I guess I'll end it here. My mouth is kind of hurting, so feels good. But yeah, I will get some new shares bought, and I will talk with you guys about that next week once I get those. August. Look for the video around the 9th. But once I get those, you'll see that on the August update. But so far things are going good. The market's pretty much, I wouldn't say fully recovered, but it's, I mean, you can see the trend. It had one day that spiked for reasons I don't know. Probably because everything was opening and people were like, yeah. And then it went back down, but it's been slowly trending up, you can see. At least on mine. But I guess that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for stopping in today. Hopefully I've inspired someone to start investing on their own. But yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. Take care, guys. Thank you so much.